morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Today is Thursday, and it's a Drill with me, Whip and Chat. And, well, I'm hoping I can get through this video. I've been trying to record all day, and something or other has always ended up making me stop. So, we're going to do a Whip and Chat, and I'm going to answer some tag questions that I found yesterday, instead of just giving you all a weekly update because there really hasn't been a whole lot going on. It's just been too hot outside to even think about doing anything. And then, of course, with it being, I guess basically a heat wave outside and my air running constantly, it's been cold in here. So we kind of, just been hibernating and doing stuff around the house, and that's it. So there's not been a whole lot going on. So, but that's okay. And except for the fact that I had a new start when it comes to cross stitch, and I was gonna do a floss tube video yesterday, but our internet, they our internet company informed us that they were having issues with some of the lines because of the heat. So I just kind of stayed off of YouTube and didn't do that yesterday at all because I didn't know if I was going to have issues uploading my any videos. So today it doesn't look so bad outside, and I just went outside and it's not that bad out there today. So I'm going to get this done and then, you know, do a couple of things around the house, and that's it. I do plan to paint on Saturday, so that'll be a big thing to do. And I'm going to be starting in the bathroom. I've been putting it off, and I keep telling you guys every week, oh, I got to paint, I got to paint, I got to paint. And I don't, because I've been putting it off. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of the heat or what the deal is. And so this weekend I'm going to start on the bathroom, and the next room after that is, Justin and Sky's room. So I've got to get them in there to clean that so that I can get that done and get that started after I do the bathroom, which the bathroom shouldn't take me too long. I think I should be able to do it in one day. I'm not sure. I mean, it's not a big bathroom. It's just big enough for the toilet, sink, and a shower. So we'll see. Anyhow, so that's really all that has been going on this week. There's not been a whole lot, I told you there's not been a whole lot going on this week. And so I went looking for some tag questions, and I found them on this website. It's called tagquestionsS.com. And I found a mom tag, and I'm going to answer it. And I will put the link down in the description box if anybody wants to use it. And so let's start. The first question is, what's the best thing about being a mother? I've been trying to just sitting here thinking about this question, and I just love being a mom. I really don't know what the best thing about it is. I enjoy being a mom, and I love kids. I love my kids, and I think the best thing is that each child has a different personality, and I've always enjoyed that. I've always, I don't know how to explain this. I've been in all of each child's personality over the years, especially, my oldest daughter, because her personality is a mess. It's it, it it's she's nothing like me, and I excuse me, I don't know where she gets her personality from. I'm thinking it comes from her dad, but it's just it's just neat to see um, each child's personality come out, if that makes any sense, because it's cool. I mean, I have children. I have one that likes science, and another one that all he likes is video games and so forth. Where is all this hair coming from? God, I'm sorry, guys. I'm in the middle of trying to answer this question, and I'm just seeing pieces of hair. I don't know where it's coming from. Um, but that's really one of the best things about being that I one of my best things about being a mom. Um, how do you feel about every birthday of your children? Um, I feel blessed, and then on the other hand, I go, "Oh my gosh, they're this age, and I feel old." Like with my the oldest son, he's 30 some years old, 32 or 31, and I feel so old because yeah. And of course now my oldest daughter, she's 27 going on 28, and holy crap, I feel old a lot of the times, but um I feel blessed. My children may not have come from the best circumstances. Most of a couple of them didn't come from the best of circumstances, relationships, or whatever, but I don't regret any of my children at all whatsoever. um, I have one that doesn't speak to me at all, but again, you know I don't regret any of my children at all whatsoever. So um, tell three things. Which child of yours teased you during pregnancy and even after birth? I would have to say my oldest daughter, um, Ariel. She, when I was pregnant with little Jude, she teased me up one and down the other, and she was with me when he had when I had to have a C-section, and she was all about the surgery and everything, and she was telling me, I mean, she was giving me a play-by-play, and then she was doing it, I guess, to lovingly, to help me, because I wasn't having a C-section is not the most wonderful experience in the world, and so she was teasing and very, very supportive at the same time. I mean, she was telling me everything that they were doing, and um, she took pictures, and let me tell you, some of those pictures, one of those pictures, I could have killed her for, but that's but she teased me right and left, and but it was all in good fun. Um, Define a mother's love in one sentence. It's everlasting and it'll never, never die, I guess. That's, I don't know how else to put it. Tell one habit of your every child which you do not like. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think. There's not real. They don't really have that many bad habits. Um, let's see. Skylar doesn't really have any habits that I don't or do like. I mean, he's the only one that I can say that I don't like, and Justin is just as bad with this as Skylar is putting their hands down their pants. They walk around with their hands stuck in their pants, and it drives me crazy. And after, when I catch them at it, I make them wash their hands. And Justin's like, well, I'm a man. I'm allowed. No, I don't care. It just, I'm sorry. Seriously, that's the reason why you know, okay, whatever. What the heck is this? I don't know what that is. Guys, I have no clue. Something black? I don't know what that is. But okay. No clue what that is. Mm, weird. Sorry. Um, which child of yours resembles you the most? Ugh. Uh, Justin and Skylar. The girls resemble me the most. Justin and Skylar don't. Um, my two girls, Ariel and Miranda, they have been mistaken for me, or they get this every time we're together out in public or whatever. Oh, she looks just like you. And of course, my two girls are like, no, I don't. No, I don't. And so I answered two questions right there. Um, tell one habit of your child. Tell one habit of your every child which you really admire. Oh my goodness. Mm, trying to think. There's really. I've tried to teach them a lot of good habits, and um, this? Why won't it come off? Sorry, guys. I've got something that I don't know what it is, but it won't come off of my. There we go. I don't know what that was, but that was just nasty. Um. Okay, where was I? Habits. Um. I've always tried to teach them to wash their hands before, after they eat, before, after they go to the bathroom, before they eat, after they, blow their nose, just, all sorts of, uh, just a normal, whatever. And I have to say that, and especially lately since the coronavirus thing, they've been pretty good about making sure that their hands are washed, um, making sure that they wear their face masks when they go out. Um, well, I mean, when this all started, I'd had to like really stand over top of them to make sure that they wash their hands. But now I don't even have to say anything, which I think is a good thing. And, but they've always done that anyway. They always were pretty good about making sure that their hands were washed and so forth. And I the only one I have a problem with really right now is Justin with the taking care of his body and all that kind of stuff. But right now, you know, that's one thing I can say about him. Even though he doesn't, take care of his room or whatever, he's pretty good about washing his hands, and things like that. They all are, so I really don't have, too much to worry. Um, which child is the most irritating one? Really? None of my kids are really that irritating. I mean, yeah, they can get on my nerves sometimes, but I think that's with every, parent. But I don't have any that are really, really irritating. Um, and please don't, misunderstand. I don't, I, I don't, my children, yeah, my kids can get on my nerves sometimes. I mean, like Justin, I mean, I, he'll come out. This is what I find irritating. And I'm not saying that he does this, that he's not the most irritating one, but, and I mean, again, my kids are not that, my kids aren't irritating. Um, but I mean, they have their own little quirks that they irritate me with, but there isn't one specific child that does that. Um, at all. I mean, like, I can't say, Ariel, my oldest daughter, or, I can't just, really, really come out and say, oh, yeah, all my kids were irritating, because they're not. That's just not, you know, that's not the case. Um, get out of there. Um, so I can't, I don't really know. Um, I don't really have an answer for that one. Next one. Which child is a mama's baby? There isn't one. I mean, I've been accused of, like, I've been accused of Justin being my mom, being mama's boy. Um, it, all my kids have been accused of being a mama's baby, but they're not. None of them are. Um, uh, who among you dominates? Oh no, that's not. Because I'm not married. Where do you see your children after 10 years? Oh my gosh. Um, good grief. I think every mother has, aspirations that, your child to go on and be, you know, all they can be. And truthfully, I see my children in 10 years just being happy and um independent and hopefully having a good life and a good job. Do you wish to choose a career for your children? No. Do I want to see them do well for themselves? Of course I do. Um, do I hope that they, get, are how do I put this? Do I hope that they are able to find jobs that, how do I put it, that they like, or jobs that they are experienced in? And of course, I mean, and it's really hard when you never sit down and think about these things. But like with Justin, I think he's kind of at a standstill. Uh, Now Ariel, my oldest daughter, she's kind of at a standstill also, just because she's trying to go back to school. She wants to be a nurse, and she's trying to go back to school, and she's been having some problems lately. But I think she'll get she'll get there. Um, and as for Justin, you all know, those of you that remember me talking about this, we hoped he was going into the military. That is my one wish for him, but I know that may not happen, and he knows that I support him either way. So it's not like, I'm going to like say, okay, you have to go do this because, you know, it's expected. I don't expect that of him. I just expect him to go out and do what he all that he can be, and do what he enjoys. Um, do you have any regrets related to motherhood? I have a lot, and my especially with Ariel, my she and I have this love hate relationship, and there's a lot of things in her childhood and teenage years that I regret. And, if there is one time that I would say I could go back and do everything all over again, it would be that, just because it tore a it really it kind of screwed up our relationship, I guess, in a way. And, our relationship is okay now. I'm not going to say it's back to where it should be, or where, it's it has its moments. And, she has her opinions about things, and I have my opinions about things. And, that's all I can say about it, because I don't know how else to explain it. But, she loves me. I know she does. But I wasn't the greatest mother in the world all the time. So, I mean, that's one thing you all need to understand. There were times that, you know, in my eyes, and she knows this too, but then again, it wasn't always the greatest thing in the world. So, we have our moments. Um, what's the best present your children have given to you? Homemade uh presents, like, ornaments or birthday cards. Those are the best things I've ever received for my children. Excuse me. I think those are the best that any parent could receive from their children. Um, I always used to look forward to when Christmas time would come around for any of my kids, because they would always make Christmas ornaments in art class, and they would bring them home. And that was always my favorite time of the year to look forward to, because that would they would always, and Mother's Day. I think there was a couple of times, like during Thanksgiving, that they would bring stuff home too, that they would they would have made, that they would give to the parents. But those are the one my most favorite is, the ones that were handmade. Um, what difficulties did you face in managing home and children? Oh my gosh. It seems like I never have enough time in the world to do anything. It seems like, when I'm trying to, like, clean, or um it there's just never seems to be enough time for anything when it comes to, um managing, like, chores and spending time with the kids, and then having time for just yourself. It's very, very it gets monotonous sometimes, just trying to figure all that out. But I do it. Don't ask me how, but I do it. I to this day, I don't know how to I wouldn't be even begin to tell you how I have managed it, but I do. Um, tell any moment of tell any moment which that your child filled your eyes with tears but proud. I think my oldest daughter did this. I was uh, having one of my, I guess, depression episodes, and long story short, I felt like I was a really, really, you know, messed up parent, individual, you name it. And she was in North Carolina. She wasn't anywhere near me. And she had called me on the phone, and I was in the middle of there's no other way to put it. I was having a panic attack. And she, you know, talked me down, and she made me really proud by some of the things that she said. I don't want to say them now because I'll start crying. But this is the child that I have the love-hate relationship with. And yes, she's my daughter. And but it's just, that's what it is just basically a love-hate relationship. We don't always get along, but we have, um, we've had our moments, but she has always, tried to, especially this like that one time, she has always, made me proud of her by telling me, Mom, I love you. You're, you do what you can for us, and I get it now, and so forth. And she's made me proud to the point that I've cried. So it's, let's see. Do you like to stay at home with your children? I was never really a partying person. Now, when I was in my 20s, yes. But when I, became a mom, I didn't really do that. I didn't really go out and party. There wasn't any reason to party. Um, I just, that's just, I don't, that kind of stuff is not for me. So I'd rather stay at home and be a parent. Do you wish to? What is the best age of being a mother? I would say wait until, your mid 20s, or late 20s. I wouldn't go right off the bat at, like, 19, 20 like I did, because you know, or even, in your 30s. Wait until then, because I wouldn't, I don't think, I wouldn't be a child. I wouldn't advise it if you're not ready. Let's put it that way. Um, hmm. Describe your children in 3 words. Oh my gosh. Uh, huh. Um, uh, see, there's, oh my gosh, I'm stuck because there's so many things that I could use to describe all of my children. Um, that's a hard one. I'll come back to that. Man, who is the most organized child of yours? Neither one of them. I'm sorry that no, none of my kids are organized, and I think they get that from me because I'm not very organized either. But I have tried to, you know, show them and teach them to be organized. But no, they're not all. Believe me. Mm-mm. I mean, now Miranda, she does try. Now, Ariel, I don't know because I think she is. Uh, like last night, we were talking on FaceTime, and she showed me, um, because she has moved in with her boyfriend. So I think she is organized. I'm not. I don't want to sit here and say I don't know. But she knows where everything is. Let's put it that way. If that's what you want to count as being organized. And Miranda is trying to be, um, but Justin, no. There's just that that one never happened. Now, if it does, I'd be very surprised, but it's no, he's not organized. Believe me, he's far from it. Very far from being organized. And I don't say that to be mean, but no, he's not. No, I have tried to get him organized, and I mean, he probably, is organized in his mind. He could probably sit here and tell me where something is in his room, and in their room, but on the outside looking in, he's not. And he'll probably tell me, but Mom, you don't know what you're talking about. I probably don't. Okay. Um, what would you do? Wait a minute, I'm skipping sentences or skipping questions. What was the hardest thing while having a baby? Oh, um, now I'm not sure what they mean by this question. They're not being specific on whether or not it's while you're in labor, or so I'm just going to, you know, um good grief, elaborate as answer this the best I can. The hardest thing about having a baby, labor wise, the pain. The pain was just, there's just no way to describe it. Um, I think I would rather, I've never experienced kidney stones, but I think I would rather have a baby than go through kidney stones. But it's um that's really the hardest thing about, and not only that, it, there's been a couple of times, and y'all are gonna laugh at this, but there's been a couple of times that I have been very, very hungry. I've been wanting to eat when I was in labor, and of course, I wasn't allowed, and it really sucked because it just made me even more irritable and rude, and but that's really the hardest thing. And not only that, it's the anticipation, just waiting for, you know the baby to be born, and so forth. I think that answers that question. I hope I answered that question. Oh, mm. After becoming a mom, does your love increase for your mother? Not really. I mean, my mom and I don't really have the greatest relationship. We don't talk. We're not. So, because I'm the black sheep of the family, but my love didn't really increase that much. I mean, yeah, I think it kind of stayed the same. Um, what would you do if someone bullies your child? Okay, I've had this incident, both two of my girls, and also with Justin, and I'm going to kind of go into a couple of the stories or a couple of the incidences with Ariel. Um, I had to withdraw her from school because it got so bad at school that, but she had a couple of other students that just constantly wanted to, you know, cause problems for her. And it got so bad one day that she got jumped in one of the school restrooms, and Um, they fractured her nose. They, uh, she had a burn on her back, a slight, it wasn't a big, it wasn't a really nasty burn from the furnace. They basically pinned her to the, the furnace in the girls' bathroom. She couldn't fight. She couldn't fight back. And when she did fight back, you know, um, but anyway, long story short, through all this, you know, drama filled years of high school, it just got to a point where she and I realized, you're not going to get by, and things are going to continue to happen. So we're just going to withdraw you. Same thing with Miranda. She would get bullied, but she never really said anything. And she didn't do anything. I mean, she didn't like fight back or anything. She didn't know what to do. But she finally did tell somebody, and she told me, and it just got to a point that we had to, same thing, just withdraw her from school. I wish I hadn't now, but it happened. And Justin was bullied when he was in kindergarten, and we solved that problem pretty quick. Um, I don't know what it is. I mean, now he's, of course, he's told me uh, that he was bullied in middle school, and the only way I knew that was because he would come home and get backtalk me and stuff, and then that's when he would tell me. But other than that, I mean, but we've taken care of it in each instance. It was basically um, reporting it, and the children or whatever were suspended, or whatever kids did, whatever was required in that situation. Let's see what else next. Hold on, gotta get to the next question. Um, oh goodness, what was your favorite food during the pregnancy days? Oh my gosh. I didn't really have one for my two older kids. Now, I can't remember with Miranda. There really wasn't any favorite. I had a lot of cravings, but didn't really have a favorite. Now with Justin, when I was pregnant with Justin, it was Tostitos and jalapeno cheddar dip, which I still love. And that those are one of my absolute favorite that I loved. And with Sky, it was um, chocolate chip cookies and Mountain Dew. Every child was different. Now, with like I said, with Ariel and my older son Eric, there really wasn't a. I didn't really have one. Um, I didn't really have a favorite food. I did have weird cravings, but I didn't have a favorite food that I kind of, always fell back on because it didn't really, so that I can't really like say for that. See what else was it? Imagine you are stuck on an earthquake. Would you save yourself or your children? I would try to save I would try to save both myself and my children. But I mean, see, I don't like thinking about these kinds of situations um because then I would get depressed. But I mean, if there really is an answer, I would probably try to save my children. I mean, would I want to save myself and my children? Of course. But if it comes down to it, I would definitely, save my children before I would, uh, who named your children? Oh my gosh. My my oldest son I named um now my oldest daughter, my former sister-in-law named, and the rest of my children I named except for Sky or Justin. Ariel, my daughter, named him. She wanted to name him Justin Timberlake, but Justin Timberlake Wall, but we didn't do that. So uh, we stuck with Justin. We did, but we didn't stick with the Timberlake. Uh, and I named Skylar. And no, I'm sorry. Ariel named him the first name, and his middle name is after my grandfather, so we both named him together. Uh, how helpful are your children? The ones at home are pretty helpful. Now, I do have one that I do have to constantly like say, you need to do this, please do this before, but other than that, uh, they're pretty, helpful, especially when I get a migraine or I am sick. They, you know, they step up and do what needs to be done. Have you kept the toys and clothes that for your children? No, especially when they grew out of when they became, toddlers and so I didn't keep any of the baby toys or any of the baby clothes. They were all given away. So no, I didn't keep any of that stuff at all whatsoever. Because number one, I didn't have the room. Number two, I knew I wasn't going to have any more children, especially after Skylar. So I didn't feel the need to keep anything. Okay, one more question. Which child takes the most time to get ready for school or just to get ready in period? Justin. That's all I can say. He takes longer than a dang woman. We could be standing here ready to walk out the door for any reason, for, even if it's to go to the grocery store or whatever, and he takes 20 minutes to get up, get himself moving, and get his clothes on, and then he's still not all the way ready. He's still slow. I have to yell at him. I have to like say, come on, dude, 3 or 4 times before he's actually ready to walk out of the door to go with us to wherever it is that we are going because that's just him. I don't know why he's like that. I To this day, could not tell you. But it takes him forever to get himself ready. And it's not like he, and I tease him that he's a woman. I tease him, you're just as bad as a woman. And he just looks at me like, what? And yeah, he's the one that, mhm, that I have to worry about. Okay, guys, that's it. That is the last question. So thank you for listening, and I hope everyone has a great day. And if it's hot near you, please stay cool, stay in the air conditioning, and remember to wear your mask, be safe, wash your hands, and social distance. And I will see you all next time. Have a great day.